This is Carl the Cobra Frutch, and you're watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal Khan for Lights Out, proudly sponsored by Spartans Law. We're here at the Elite Boxing Gym in Bolton. Delighted to be joined by one of the most up-and-coming rising stars in the heavyweight division, Mr. Ricky Gorman. Richard, Ricky, whichever one you want to be called.
Whatever you want to call me.
How are you, brother?
I'm very well, thank you, Michaels. How are you?
I'm all right, mate.
I'm looking fresh, you know. It's like no behind the scenes here. You're
mate,
fresh.
I've not had my beard done. I've not had my hair cut.
Razor's got nothing on you for sharpness.
Well, yeah, I'll take that as a compliment, even though I look really rough right now. But
Spot me.
you're at a gym, mate. I expect you to look like that.
Yeah, you know.
If I walked in right now, there was not a single sweat on your body, I'd think he ain't training hard enough.
No, it's true. 100%. 100%.
Pro debut out the way. How did it feel?
Yeah, you know something unbelievable. I enjoyed it. Good experience. You know, Milan, good fighter, good game man. It shows you. You know, I took him on in my debut. He's took on men since. He's 4, 5, 6 and 0. You know, no one's put him on his back or stopped him or put him up the floor like I have. And has give every one of them a tough night. I come out unscathed. You know, not a mark on me. You know, I think I got hit 4 times for the full 4 rounds. And, you know, he's give other people proper problems, you know, so good, you know, got out the way, finished it in a bit of style and all. Showed a few dance moves, a bit of a sing-song afterwards. What more can a man do? So,
You know what, right? I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it out loud and proudly. You remind me of a younger version of Tyson. You've just got that little bit of charisma that he's got. But any family member that's related to Tyson will always get compared to Tyson. And
yeah.
I think it is slightly a bit harsh, especially with you being one fight in.
Exactly.
You're learning your trade, but, you know, being part of the Fury family, older brother Nathan, what's it like being part of that environment, knowing that the bar's been set as high as it is?
Unbelievable, you know, all of my family members have done marvellous. So I tip my hat to every one of them. But this is my turn, you know what I mean? This is my show, this is my lane. Fair play to Nathan, fair play to Tyson, Huey, all the lads, you know, good on them all, every one of them. But at the end of the day, this is my journey and paving the way for me. You know, and like I said, to see what they've done is marvellous. But it's about me now, it's about Ricky Gorman. I'm not interested in what Nathan's done or what the other fellas has done. They've done their career, they've had it, it's been and gone. Mine's just started. You know, I'm in good company with good sparring, all up and down the country. You can go into most boxing gym of heavyweights who sparred me, you know, for crossovers from cage fighters, some of the best in the world, to boxing. They all know what I'm about, they all know what I am. I'm not here to play games, I'm here to do a job. And my job and my end goal is to bring a world title back to Britain, to be another world champion.
Yeah, obviously one fight in, yep. I'm pretty sure you're still in the early stages of your career. Yep. But, you know, how quickly do you want to push yourself? Because some fighters like to maybe have 6 or 7 fights before they jump into some sort of a belt to do with their country. But what's the case with you, Ricky?
I'll answer it straight in a nutshell. 2 more fights, Central Area title. 3rd to 4th fight, I'm fighting for the Central Area Heavyweight Championship. By hook or by crook, it's getting done. I want to fight for that belt. ASAP. You know what? If they offer it me tomorrow, I mean this, offer it me tomorrow, I'll take it. There you go. 2 fights in. I'll fight for it tomorrow. No problem at all. Simple as that. I'm fit, I'm in shape, I feel good, I feel ready. I'm currently sitting at 18 stone 4. I've melted right down, no longer 19 stone no more. So, let's go. I'll fight now for it.
Is it fair to say that in a year's time you forget the English title, you'd even go for the British if it was offered?
12 months, if it comes off, I'll fight for the British title. I'll fight David Adeleye. No problem at all. Just give me 4 to 5 fights, no worries at all. He wants to call people, I'll call him out. There you go.
Am I right in saying that there might be a bit of needle between you and David, or you just don't like the way he's been going about things?
No, that's the way he carries himself as a man. It's just an object, isn't it? So, there you go. There's the offer. It stands for him now. I'll have a fight with you, mate, in 2 seconds flat. No worries at all. I'm not here to sit on the shelf, man, and watch the parade go by. I'm part of this parade. I'll run this show. They can get online and follow me. I'm not looking about what's around me. I'm looking about where I need to be, and that's the top of the tree. I fear no man. You shouldn't be a fighter if you fear people. I don't fear nobody. So if they want it, David Adeleye, here it is. Central Area Champion, here I am. Ring the phone and listen, let's make it happen. I sell tickets, I bring a crowd. I bring 140 to Bolton, 140 people, so you want to make it happen, let's let it roll. Change has turned, mate. I'm not an arrogant person, I'm not wrong, I ain't a bad man. I don't usually call out people. I need fights, and I want good fights. And I know I'm only 1-0 into my career, but I'll have the fights, no problem at all.
There is a current situation ongoing with the British champion, Fabio Wardley. Him and Fraser Clarke were scheduled to arrange a fight, but obviously there was a few issues in terms of the purse bids. Frazier's promoter Ben Shalom cancelled the purse bids at the last minute. I've spoken to people in and around the boxing world. They've given me their opinions. But what was your thoughts on how the whole purse bids went down between them two?
Mate, you know what? You get two fighters, they want to fight each other, they'll fight. Simple as that. You want to fight someone, you should do everything you can to
Sorry
get
to
the fight.
disturb you, but do you also understand where Ben Shalom's coming, where he wants to sort of let Frazier gain a bit more experience before going to a British title fight?
Man, the one lad's come from a white collar background, he's learnt on the job. The other man's had 80 amateur fights or whatever he's had. He's fought at international level. So he's fought Joe Joyce, God knows however many times. What more experience do you need? He's 30, whatever, 32, 33 years old. Not like me. He's not in his, just beginning of his 20s. He's a good age man. Get it on. He's had his experience. And no harm. Fighting Marius Wack ain't going to get you no brownie points. He's ready. What more does he need to do? Oh, I need to practice my jab a little bit more. He's ready to go. Fair play to the other lad. Listen, tip me up to you, mate. You've come up against tough, stiff challenges and he's come across them and he's beat them. I was ringside when my brother Nathan put a face on him across here. Licked these wounds and come out and said, yeah, come on, I'm ready. Simple as that.
Well, I'm going to have to move on now to the world elite heavyweights now, and I'm pretty sure you got a lot to say, but there is a lot of negativity right now, Ricky, surrounding the Furies, the Joshuas, the Usyks, the Wilders. These are fights that we all want to see, and I'm pretty sure these are fights you want to see, the best fight and the best. But what have you made of the current saga up at the top part of the heavyweight division right now?
Top part of the heavyweight division, looking at it, listen, you've got to see it from all different aspects. Yeah, I can see it for what it is. You've got a man who's a boxing man and running as a politician at the same time, Alexander Usyk. Marvellous fighter. I think he's brilliant, I really do. I think he is elite, which he is. Can't take nothing away from him. And then you've got, in my opinion, the undisputed king here in England. They're the only two we can talk about right now. Wilder's already beat, Joshua's already been beat. The former champions are no longer champions no more. So they're in the pecking order. But the fight we want to speak of is Usyk and Tyson. That's the fight the world wants to see. For what reason and why reason that fight ain't taking place, I couldn't tell you. But would you want to watch it? Of course I would. I'd be ringside seat for it. It's a great fight. It's about as good as British. Well, I was going to say British fight, but as good as fight in the world as what there is right now. That would outdo Crawford and Spence. The full boxing world would want to watch it. Poses a completely different ball game to everything what's going on in the cycle. I understand what you're meaning. There should be fights happening. Anthony Joshua hitting a mattress the other day, punching a mattress. Instead of punching a mattress, the man's got a lot of pulling power. To say, yeah, I'll fight you. What's with the hold up in the say? He's not like me, searching for a fight. That man's got pulling power to say, no, I'll fight you. But I think the Usyk fights give him a little bit of difficulties with his mind, if you want the gospel's truth. I think the Usyk fights give him difficulties with his mind. That's what I believe. Joshua's not been the same since the Usyk fight. Did he look like the same Joshua in 2016 when he fought Franklin? He didn't, did he? That same man in 2016 would have got him out there, no problem. He'd have Charles Martined him. But there you go, that's boxing. There you are, it happens to the best of them, doesn't it?
You're also perhaps maybe a little bit surprised that he's at a certain stage of his career right now. He's coming off the back of a win against Jermaine Franklin, but 2 defeats in a row against Alexander Usyk. Do you think that maybe psychologically Anthony Joshua, maybe in his mind, might be thinking that the best days are past him now, and it's just a case of maybe earning a few quid and seeing what else he can achieve before he ends his career?
He's been a 2-time world champion. He's been a British Commonwealth, Europe, whatever he's won. He's won a lot, and he's done everything. What more does he need to do? Doesn't need to do nothing else more. Only thing we would like to watch him do is fight Tyson. But we know how it'll go. We know, no disrespect to him, he's a great champion. And nothing's promised in the heavyweight division. It only takes one clout up the side of your ear and you're up the floor. And that's it, the big men throwing hands with 10-ounce mitts on, and with some plasticine Paris underneath it. That's it, one shot, you're up the floor. It showed at 12th round, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. No one expected that, and it happened. There's been other sagas since that, amazing things. So you thought, Michael Moore or George Foreman. 1-8, you're out. Lights out boxing. Yeah, I'd say it's how it goes. So you've got the right title for it, because that's what it is. You should interview heavyweights only, You've got the right title for it, lights out. But we want to watch good fights. I've got a question for you. How do you see the Spence and Crawford? I want to ask you about that.
Spence, I've always said if that fight does happen, I'd favour Spence because, I'm stylistically, I'm more of a fan leaning towards Spence. But I look at the inactivity and a fight like that, in my opinion, you need to be active. And I would have liked to have seen Spence maybe take one fight before that fight, but it is what it is. We'd rather get that fight than never have it at all. And that leads to my next question.
Yes.
Less than a month away now. Two of the best fighters in the world, fighting in their prime years for all the marbles. What more do boxing fans want? Ricky, how does that fight pan out?
Spence and Crawford. I've watched Spence personally in the UK. I watched him in Sheffield against Cal Brook.
I was there as well.
Yeah, good man. Yeah, it was a good fight, you know what I mean?
Great night.
It was a great night.
George Groves become world
Champion. Lemroy Thomas fought Dave Allen on the same bill. It was a fantastic. It was outside in the big football stadium, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sheffield United Stadium.
That's it, 100%. It was a good night. Look, I'm going to beat around the bush with it. I think Crawford is a great technician. He can fight on the inside, he can fight on the outside. And then both, when you get to that sort of elite level, they all can. You don't become pound for pound rated if you can't. But I think Crawford's got just a little bit much in his toolbox for him. Honestly, I do. Oh, it'll be close. Believe me, it'll be close. I'm going to back Crawford for the fight.
Fair play. There's no harm in backing Crawford. They're both as good as each other.
How did you score the Loma and Amy fight? Yeah, that's something on people's tongues.
Listen, some people, right, when they do interviews, they don't want to give... My opinion is I thought Loma won the fight. But I look at the bigger picture, I'm glad we got the fight.
Yes.
I'd love to see a rematch.
It needs to be a rematch, don't they?
But, it's good that you mentioned that because a lot of controversy lately in the sport of boxing surrounding scorecards. I mean, the other day, it was one fight where we had a 95-95 decision. So they had Savannah Marshall, Franchon Cruz DAZN. Are you looking at this and thinking, oh, do you know what, one day this could end up happening to me? Is this a worrying time for the sport?
Of course it is. Of course it is, man. Of course it is. You think you're breezing something and you've got it in the bag and you think, oh, right, listen, it's all done, it's sorted, it's finished. Listen, take this round off, I've won the fight. And you get someone, looking down at the piece of paper and going, yeah, I didn't really see it that way. Are they blind? Or what? Is there something seriously wrong there? They're looking at a different time format on a piece of paper. Oh yeah, you threw 2 jabs. That'll do, it'll win you the round. Is it disgusting? Because I tell you what, whatever they're watching and whatever they're looking at, it's enough to make someone sick. Because at the end of the day, they need to get a good look at these judges, take a look at them, and say, right, do you want a job? Because we'll put you on an amateur panel, and we'll give someone else a go. I'd be a judge. At least I'd score it fairly. Do you know what I mean? That's just disgusting, man. I think former boxers should be judges. That's what I think.
Not a bad shout.
Former boxers should be judges. That would be good, because they know what they're looking at. They've been born and bred in a gym, getting punched in the mouth, and know what scores and what's hurt. Know if someone's calling you and you've been hurt, and knowing if the jab's win in the centre of the fight. That's what should happen. Men who's had experience doing it, and women. That should be it. Former boxers, let them have a turn. At least they'd score it and score it fairly. But yeah, listen, what do I know, eh? I'm just a lad here in Bolton, sweating to death, looking like I've been in a 20-minute sauna. And hey, I'm only giving an opinion, but my opinions count for something. And I tell you what, that's what I believe works.
Ricky, before I let you go, what's the message to the rest of the division that's in and around sort of your bracket, and obviously the message to your fans? And
God bless them all. God bless them all. Every one of them, because at the end of the day, listen, I am. You see me on my debut, I am an entertainer. Plain and simple. I'm not.
I think you're entertaining in and out of the ring just by talking to you.
Amen. I'm not your average man sitting there with your finger in your mouth. That's not me. That's never been my persona. I'm a man of the people, and I've always said, and I will remain that way. I'm a man of the people at the end of the day. If a child's there, oh, Ricky, how you doing? Come here, son, get a picture, how you doing? You all right? That's me. I'm not one of these ego men what needs 20 bouncers around me. You'll see me somewhere when I'm off break in Manchester having a public house in having a beer in the public house. How you doing, mate? You all right? Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. That's me. That's the kind of man I am. Speaking of pubs, I got my own beer, haven't I? Did you know that? You didn't know that, did you?
You now talk to me about the own beer of yours.
Made in the Utoxeter Brewing Company. Me, Aki, Chris Malett, and Chris Gorman made it.
Aki from?
Aki Kareem, British Boxing Baby TV.
Shout out to Aki Kareem.
Yeah, we was all together, and my uncle Bartley Gorman, you probably heard of Bartley Gorman.
Yeah, I've heard of Bartley Gorman.
Bartley Gorman, he had a beard called Bartley's Bitter, and I got into contact with the brewery, who are now severely good friends of mine and also of the lads. We go down there, it's a really good do. Next time I say, yeah, I'll give you a bottle so you keep as a keepsake. How's that?
Fair enough, okay. So, we'll do something.
It's called the Oxdropper.
Okay.
It's called the Oxdropper, Ricky's Oxdropper. It's been in with the spoons. It's been in a few different boozers up and down the place. People can try it, sample it. You go online, Ricky's Oxdropper. There it is. And, big shout out to Global Green as well. My other pal, John. You know, a man's a gentleman to me. So I don't forget people. You know what I mean? You just don't forget it. So that's how it is.
A man of the people. So when you are a world champion,
Yeah.
and you've got 10 outlets in front of you, Sky Sports, ITV, BT, and I'm stood there.
Yep.
Are you gonna make me wait, or are you gonna say, no, I remember this young man from the beginning? Get to the head of the queue. Get up there, my boy.
Get up, son. Hey, did I forget you just then?
No, you didn't. No, and I appreciate the way you
As soon
are.
as I spotted you, want to say, hello, my Russ, how are you keeping?
You did.
First
You
words
did.
out my mouth. I don't forget nobody, mate. Do you know something? I don't forget nobody. Because let me tell you something. The day a man forgets where he comes from is no longer a man. And I remember the hard days. I remember the times. Listen, I've not had it all glitz and glamour. I'm a real man. I've been brought up in a household with nothing. Never mind these men what's been pampered and had golden spoons put in their mouth. I'm telling you, and as God is my witness now, as cold as my father, I've been brought up with the bare essentials. Here, get out and get that done. I was a man at 8-year-old. Honest to God, a man at 8-year-old, proper. And I'm telling you, mate, believe me, hard times create hard men, but it also creates good and respectful men. If your motor was broke down outside now, I'd let you lend my car. Go on, mate, take that. That's what kind of man I am. Because I know what virtues mean, you see, and I know what respect means. If you've got no respect, you've got nothing. Honest to my God. I tell you what it's like going into a casino with an empty pocket. You've got no. And respect's all about life. If you've got it, you can put your head anywhere and raise your head up high and look at anyone square in the eye and look at them and say to them straight, how you doing, mate? Got no respect? Forget it. And that's what I mean.
Ricky Gorman, before I let you go, mate, just drop a final message to the rest of the fans out there that follow you, that will be following you, and yeah, what can we expect to see throughout the rest of 2023?
I'm on your year sober. And they'll know what that means. What do you reckon of that? There you go.
All right, Ricky Gorman, listen, pleasure as always,
God
my
bless
man.
you.
Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure to see you. Hey,
Thank you very
anytime.
much.
You want to do anytime. I don't forget people, believe
Top
me.
line. Ricky Gorman, we're going to do fantasy fights, so don't be walking out, all right?
All right.
Thank you very much for talking to Lights.
Who likes how boxing? Smack! Have that on the end of your nose.